Did you know there's a war that lasted longer than the United States has even existed, and no one died? I'm not joking. This war went on for 335 years, and the countries involved didn't even realize it was still happening. Let's uncover the strangest, longest war in history, the 335 Years' War. Most wars are bloody, brutal, and tragic. They leave behind stories of loss and survival. But this one, it's more like a historical glitch. A war declared and then forgotten. No gunfire, no soldiers marching, just silence for 3 centuries. So how does something like that even happen? Our story starts in the 1600s, during one of Europe's most chaotic times, the English Civil War. England was split between the Royalists, who supported King Charles I, and the Parliamentarians, led by Oliver Cromwell, who wanted to limit the king's power. The fighting was fierce, but in the middle of all this chaos stood a tiny, quiet group of islands, the Isles of Scilly, off the coast of Cornwall in England. At that time, the Isles were loyal to the king, while the rest of the nearby region supported Parliament. And here's where things take a strange turn. Cromwell's parliamentarian navy needed allies, so they turned to one of the great sea powers of the day, the Netherlands. The Dutch hated the idea of royalists controlling trade routes, so they joined forces with Parliament. In 1651, Admiral Martin Tromp of the Dutch Navy sailed to the Isles of Scilly, where the Royalists had retreated after losing mainland England. He demanded they surrender or else, but the Royalists refused. So the Dutch declared war. That's it. No ships attacked, no one fired. The Dutch just left. And when the Royalists later surrendered to Parliament, no one told the Dutch the war was over. And so, technically, the war never ended. Decades passed, then centuries. Empires rose and fell. America was founded. Napoleon came and went. The light bulb was invented. 2 world wars reshaped the planet. But somewhere in the dusty records of the Netherlands, a declaration of war against a tiny set of British islands quietly remained. No one remembered it, no one cared, until one curious historian stumbled across it over 300 years later. In 1986, a Dutch historian named Roy Duncan was researching the Isles of Scilly when he discovered something unbelievable. Technically, his country had been at war with England for 335 years. Shocked, he reached out to the Dutch ambassador in London, and together they decided to finally end it. So, on April 17th, 1986, a peace treaty was signed between the Netherlands and the Isles of Scilly. A handshake, a laugh, and just like that, the world's longest war officially ended. No bloodshed, no trauma, just 335 years of accidental conflict, the most peaceful war in history. It's a funny reminder of how easily humans can start something and forget to finish it, how a simple misunderstanding can live longer than generations. And maybe the real lesson here is this: sometimes peace isn't hard to find. We just have to remember we're still fighting. So next time you think history is all about war and suffering, remember the war that lasted 3 centuries and claimed not a single life.